Hey guys, welcome back to the Wolfsbane podcast. Today I have another very special guest with me. I've known him for a very long time, even though we used to not be friends at the first time we met. However, in during the later years, during like 8th standard, 9th standard, we grew really close. He's also a cricket enthusiast. He loves playing cricket. He's very athletic. He loves football. We were both on the school team for football and basketball for a very long time, and that's where we really grew as friends. So, welcome, Subh Sanke Dev. How are you?
Thanks, man. Thanks for letting me into the show. How's it going, Rahul? How's it? And everyone, hi, what's up?
I've always loved how enthusiastic you were. like normally when I approach kind of my guest, right? So what I tell them is ki okay, you have to follow this, and so that it comes out nice and etc. And you were so like happy about it. You were like, "Huh, bro, you should call me on your podcast. It'll be really fun. We can have a nice discussion, all of that." So it's really nice.
I don't think even it's a podcast. It's like two friends having a conversation and people watching it. It's good.
Exactly. I mean, when did we act? Wait, it's been almost like how many years have we known each other almost now, considering it?
I guess we knew each other from six. Like we knew
Mm-hmm.
that we existed, but like we became like really good friends in ninth. Like
Yeah,
in ninth, we
exactly.
started becoming like really good.
Exactly, and
It
like
was
I
like
think, mm-hmm.
It
Like
was like a
toward,
really, like in sixth till ninth, it was like, yeah, Rahul and Sanket existed. But in ninth, it's like Rahul and Sanket existed together and becoming good friends. That was a good thing.
yeah. I mean, that's because like we were both on the same. I think we were in the same school team for like sixth, seventh, and eighth, but we never really spoke. And then ninth, when we came in the
Yeah,
same
yeah,
class, we started speaking a lot. So I mean, I'm glad that happened. It's been really nice so far. So
yeah,
like,
man. Sure. You have been
I
really a good friend, bro. Don't worry about that.
and actually just starting with that because like I think the last time we really got to meet each other was before like the entire pandemic happened, and this is towards the end of 10th when our boards just got cancelled, etc. So like obviously you're like very athletic, you love playing football, you love playing cricket, right? You love going out a lot,
Yes.
you're very social as well. So I wanted to kind of talk to you about what it's like being like a social person or an athletic person during COVID-19, because you don't get to do any of these things. You don't really get to go out and meet people or play group sports like football. So how has it been like for you?
So, as you know me, Rahul, I was like really social. I used to play a lot of sports. I didn't used to stay at home only. I used to go out and enjoy and play. But like when COVID-19 came, it was a strike for me, obviously. I couldn't go out, I couldn't mix with friends. I tried mixing, but then I realized that it will bring a danger to my home, and my parents and my little brother will get affected. It was very hard for me in the start, but as gradually a process, I was seeing like many people like me were sitting at home, not doing anything, and then we were getting like too much frustrated on ourselves, like we can't go out, we can't do anything. But then I started watching a lot of videos. I started recreating what I can be, and what I should be. Because this COVID 19 is a unique time. We haven't faced it anywhere or any time. So I think when I started watching videos, I got to learn like what can you all do at home? Like what are the things you can do at home? Like for example, if you're a cricket or a football fan, that's an exercise in some sports. You can start doing home exercise. Like you can do push-ups, you can do sit-ups, you can do crunches, you can do anything you want. Just don't let your body feel that you are not playing anything. Just make your body feel that yes, I am doing something, and not only it helps like in it helps like building your muscles, building your mental space, but it also kind of distracts you from the happenings around you. I mean, during COVID-19, we all feel that we couldn't socialize with people, we couldn't meet people, but you have to find one or the other way to avoid that, right? So what I did was, as I knew that it's impossible to meet people now, going outside is a very risk to my family. So I started working on myself. I started exercising a lot. The exercise part came later half of the COVID-19. The first half I was only laying around lazily, doing nothing, eating lots of junks and everything, which is like common with everybody. But then I realized that this is not what I want to be. I wanted to do something else. I wanted to. improve myself as a human being. So what I started doing is I started regular workouts. I started reading books. I started watching a lot of motivational videos and started meeting a new lot of friends through social media and through LinkedIn and everything, so that I can see how they are doing, how they are going through the struggle and everything. So yeah, that's my story for COVID-19.
I mean, exactly. Like, it's not only us, even sportsmen or like professional football players, professional cricket players, even they had like a huge break during this time. And you can see like how it kind of affects them after not playing for so long and then coming on the pitch, like after 2, 3 months or 4 months of not playing. So, like, it must affect students
So
as well because we are so used to
so
going
like
out often.
so like you spoke about like sports person like cricket, football, and everything, right? So if you look at it, if you look at the recent IPL which happened, that was in 2021, there were many players who were in a biosecure bubble. So, what is exactly a biosecure bubble? We need to understand. So, when the matches used to happen before, like the IPL matches, like in let's say 2019, 2018, before the COVID pandemic happened, the players were living together and they could enjoy together. They could go out. There was no restrictions on that. Obviously, because COVID-19 was not there. But when the COVID-19 pandemic came in, the BCCI and the ICC, which are the governing bodies of cricket, they thought of forming a biosecure bubble. Okay,
Yeah, so exactly. So that's what I wanted to kind of talk to you about because in school, like I mean, we have been in the school team for 5 years, 4 years, and the thing is, ki towards the start, like towards sixth standard, towards seventh standard, we were extremely fit, even body wise. We were a little more peaceful, right? Because we didn't have the kind of pressure of ninth and tenth on our heads, and the our play of our team in general was very precise. It was very smooth, right, when we were in sixth and seventh, and then slowly when we came to like ninth standard, 10th standard, like we could really see like a progression from being less sporty to like more study. So we kind of put on a little more weight. We started sitting around more often. It was getting a little lazier. I mean, we were continuously told to put a lot of like put our mindset to just studying, right, to kind of ignore everything else and kind of focus on 10th, focus on 12th, right? And you could kind of see
yeah.
that change from as like a 6th standard athlete to like a 10th standard athlete. Of course, like the sportiness went away a lot. So I just wanted to like ask you like a general discussion, right? So as we have both done 10th, right, do you think the inclusion of one more SPA period or like a sports activities period during the week, or maybe two more sports activity periods during a week, would really make a difference in how we would perform in our boards in the end? Or do you think it's just like it would matter, so that's why we really need to have only one and less time for sports, etc.?
So, like to answer to your question, so there are like two types of people. Okay, one is like who studies. They don't even care about sports. They have to get good marks, and their aim in life is something different. Okay, and then there comes the second type of person. Okay, they need studies and sports together. And if people say that sports distract you from studies, but I totally disagree with it. I mean, sports and studies can go side by side. If you look at it, studies is mostly we have to do things, but sports is like we want to play it. Okay, so there is a will to play it, and when you start doing things by your own will, it also gives a good mental space. Okay, so I mean, if you study for like 8 hours, okay, just imagine you're studying for like you go to school and study for 8 hours. 5 days a week you go to school and every day you're studying for 8 hours, okay, and you get only two SPA periods. That's also on Friday. How is it going to help you? I don't know. I don't know what the school thinks. I don't know what the teacher thinks. I don't know the person who makes the timetable. How is it going to go? I believe that at least you should have 3 days of SPF so that like children can get relaxed and then get back to study. So as you know, in 10th we were having facing the same problem. Like every day we used to come to school, we were like first two periods, okay. Then we used to look for breaks. In breaks we used to have that recreational activity. Okay. But if you look at it, SP is a very important thing to have every day. We need the physical fitness. We need a mind to get exercise. So, like, if you talk about our school starts at 7:30, right? So people come at 7:30, they laze around, they're like, yeah, we'll not do, and everything else. Okay. But if you look at it, if you keep an like a sports activity in the starting of the day, okay, though you don't want to do it, you just run for 5 or 6 minutes also, but it will help you the entire day. You can focus more. It's not like sports will distract you, like what happened. No one cares these days what happened in the match, man. Who cares? It's like you
Hmm.
playing with your school team, you playing with the other class. Who cares? It's just a practice match and it's nothing gonna bother you. So I feel, I mean, there has to be more than at least 2 to 3 SPA periods per week that will not only help ourselves but it will also help in our studies.
No, I mean exactly. Like, as like 10 standard students, both of us, I think even if we had like maybe an extra 2 sessions of SP on maybe like Wednesday or even Tuesday for that matter, it wouldn't really affect how we would perform in the boards later on, right? And I think what you're saying is completely right. Like, we required a little more time for sports as well, because it's like a huge relief instead of doing like the same thing every day, and like why,
True.
when it's there for only 2 periods on just like a Friday just before the weekend, it doesn't even seem like much. It seems like it just happened and went every week. And like as 10 standard students, we were waiting for SPA for like weeks. Like one week we had to wait for it, the second week we had to wait for it, and a lot of times our SPA periods were taken by other teachers who wanted to cover up
That's what I was
portion.
coming to. Like it
Exactly.
was. Did you ever see happening a math period being taken by a SPA teacher? No, but an SPA period taken by a teacher, yes, that happens a lot. Why? I mean, why in India? Why in schools in India is doing like this? Why are they canceling SPA period, which only comes once a week? Right? That's my main problem. People need to think about it, I guess.
I mean, like a lot of schools, even in like, so for like a lot of schools, or like the mindset in general is let children get creative, let them do a lot of sports, etc. till 10th, right? So even ninth,
Yeah.
like it slows down a little. Eighth is very active, seventh is active, sixth is very active, right? Especially in primary, it's very active. But in ninth and 10th, like everything slows down like a lot, and we have been told to study a lot more in ninth and 10th and kind of sidestep everything else. A lot of schools, even they don't keep anything, whether that be sports day, whether that be annual day, it's not there in 10th, right? Because every year I think we had either sports day or we had like a annual day or something like that, to kind of get the students' mind out of only studies and give them a more relaxing period. But that completely goes away in 10th. And that's why I really wanted to talk to you about what schools can do more in terms of sports, because like I think we can kind of agree that they don't really promote sports as like a career, because if they did, they would encourage it more. They would encourage the teams to go out more often and play tournaments, etc. So basically, what do you think schools can do to kind of promote sports and why it's so important?
Yeah, so like as your question suggested, how can sports be more promoted in our schools? So if you talk about like football and cricket, there's hell and heaven difference between them. Football, no one even knows there's a Indian football team which exists in a particular country. No one even knows, no one knows even the players who exist in the football team. There are many talented players. For example, Sunil Shetty, Sandesh Chingan, Adil Khan, two talented players. But are they getting support? No. And why is football lacking so much than cricket? Okay, both are two games of the particular country. Okay. So let's first come to our country. Okay, I don't want to disrespect my country. I love my country. I'm a very patriotic person, as you also know. I just want to say that India is not a superpower and it's not a very rich country. There are a lot of poor people living in this country and there are like a lot of lower middle class people living in this country. So the schools are designed that way so that people can get admission to it. So when the lower middle class people and the poor people get admission to the schools, let's think about the school. The school would not be able to provide the basic needs to play the sport. If you talk about skating, one skates cost around 40,000. That is the whole year's fees of the particular school. How are they going to afford it? That's the main problem. And the second thing is, let's talk about cricket. The kids that are like huge, and that money, how is the book school going to bring in that money from where? Where is going to bring the sponsors in? That is the main problem. But if you talk about, so that is the difference between cricket and football.
So that's exactly what I was saying. Like, yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. It's not the fault of the teachers or the principal, because they have been given a task, and that task is to complete the portion within the specific time given, right? And they have to do that whether they like it or not. So like, because they have to do that, they kind of take up a lot of time for doing that specifically and give us less time for sports, which is of course they have to do that
Yeah.
because it is their duty to cover portion as well as a school, right? But then again, that was like a true statement, and it's like a good and bad balance. There are a lot of cons and there are like maybe a few pros here and there as well, but it definitely needs some refinement. But talking about cricket, right? The most recent kind of upset that happened is the India New Zealand ICC Test final that happened last month, and India lost. So like, firstly, I wanted to ask you about like your thoughts about that and where the Indian team currently stands, whether we're in form or like we're doing well or like we need improvement somewhere. And other than that, I also wanted to ask you, which India team was your favorite? Like according to you, when was Indian cricket at its prime? Right, with which players?
Okay. So you told me about the WTC finals they lost. Okay. I wouldn't consider it like I wouldn't scrutinize each and every player's performance in a single test match. Like, India has been leading the test, like the test mace. They have been having the test mace for the last 5 years, and Virat Kohli is leading. People are speaking about throwing him out of the captaincy and everything, but I don't agree with it. Like, why would you throw a person who has been successful so many years? It was a single match, and let's come to the match. Okay, the match was being playing in England. Okay, and England, the England weather is totally different from the weather in India. So the England weather gives more options for the bowlers for swing, for like pace, and it has a green top, right? The bowlers will do really well in that. Okay, and the major problem in that particular test match was rain. The ICC knew that, the ICC knew that it is going to rain. There were chances of rain. Then why would you schedule such a match which is going to get interrupted so many times, right? Right. First of all, the Indian team selection was not right, according to me. There, in that particular pitch, there was no need of playing two spinners. There was Ashwin and there was Jadeja. Why would you play two spinners in such a pitch? If you talk about New Zealand, they didn't even play a single spinner, right? And they played Jadeja, and then there was Ashwin. I personally thought Siraj had a place in one of the positions, right? Ashwin is a great wicket taker. I agree with him. He should have played, and he played also. But Jadeja, why would he play? I don't understand. In a green top like that, you need pacers, right? Why would Jadeja play in that? And that's what reflected in the result also. Jadeja neither took wickets, neither scored runs, right? That is the problem. So this is what happened in the WTC time, according to me. We shouldn't scrutinize the team. There are like really good match winners in that team, like Chiteshwar Pujara, Shubman Gill, Virat Kohli, Ajinkya Rahane. They're really good match winners, but we shouldn't scrutinize the team based on one match. I'm pretty sure they will bounce back, and there was some wrong decision which were made in a particular day. That's what costed them the WTC final. And you talked about which was my best team in India over the years. So I would choose for limited overs cricket, and I will choose for not limited overs cricket, right? Like test cricket. So limited over here is T20 and 50. I would choose the 2011 World Cup winning squad of 2011. One of the best squads I've ever seen. They ticked every place. Okay, like everyone had their job. They did it perfectly. Starting from the openers, Sachin Virender, from Gautam Gambhir to Virat Kohli to finishing with Yuvraj Singh and MS Dhoni, and bowlers like Zaheer Khan, Ashish Nehra, Ravichandran Ashwin, Piyush Chawla. A well-set team that could beat any team in the particular time. Okay, that was one of the best teams, which is the limited overs cricket. Okay. And if you talk about Test cricket, I think the current squad which they have, the current squad is a team that can beat any, like in a particular Test match of a 5 Test matches series, they can beat any team or at least give a lot of competition to them, right? So I think these are my two favorite teams. One for limited overs cricket, that is the 2011 World Cup winning squad, and for like Test cricket, it is the team which is being led by Virat Kohli right now. It is one of the best teams I've ever seen in Test.
I mean, I agree with everything you said. Like, obviously, we have had bad times in Indian cricket where our team, like, we lost really badly, but there were also times where we came back really well, right? So, I just wanted to ask you, what are your predictions for the upcoming match against Sri Lanka?
The England matches,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not pretty sure that England is gonna win the particular Test match, like the whole series, but I'm pretty sure they'll give a very good fight, and there are 40 to 50% chances that India will win the Test match with that kind of particular squad. If this squad doesn't win the Test series in England, I don't think so. Any other squad can. I wouldn't say India will win it definitely, but I would say they have a 50 to 60% chance that they can win it, and that's England. So,
Okay, so since we kind of spoke about cricket professionally and how the Indian team is doing right now, I want to kind of talk about the journey to the Indian team. right? It's obviously like a long process. You need to start out at like a coaching camp, you get seen by a scout, then you go on to play for teams, Ranji Trophy, IPL, etc., and then you make your way to the Indian team. So I wanted to basically talk to you
Yes.
about that process. Like, how hard is it for an average person to make it in like the biggest teams or like the national team, whether that be football, cricket, whatever, right? Obviously, it's very hard
Yes.
considering like I think even you and I at one point of time, or at least me for that matter, I was like 10th. I kept telling myself even when I was in 6th or 7th, like that you have to, if you want to really pursue football in the future, you're gonna have to make it by 10th. And by make it, I mean like play for like an actual club or like get scouted somewhere, etc. So kind of, I wanted to know your thoughts
Yes.
about like the selection process in a way, and whether it's possible for like an average student to really pursue cricket, football, whatever, because compared to like other jobs that would be considered stable, like your normal doctor, lawyer, etc., sports is obviously risky because you don't know whether you have what it takes to make it or whether you don't. Right, so I wanted to know your thoughts on that.
Okay, so I would say that to reach the best level, you need to work hard with grit and determination. It's not impossible, but it's merely impossible. If India, I don't know, India is a country of population around. Don't have the exact number. It's a very big population, and to make it into the Indian team, you have to be in the best 100 or 150 in the particular country. And how many people are playing cricket today? A lot of people. You can't even give the count. India has become like cricket started in India. Cricket started in England, but it has been like adopted by India, right? So a lot of people play cricket in India. But if you have the grit and determination, obviously you can make it to the national team. But you need to be that much dedicated. You need to sacrifice things. You need to do a lot of things to reach that level of sportsmanship. You can't be just like, okay, all right. I will enjoy my life also. I'll go to cricket also. I'll make my life also and play. That's not gonna happen. If you look at like if you go to a corporate job, yeah, you can enjoy your life, work for a work, and yeah, okay. But you're playing at the national level, you have a lot of responsibility. You lose the match, a lot of people are behind you to score you. Okay, you need that type of grit, that type of determination, that type of concentration, that type of sacrifices you need to make. Okay, so if you want to play that level of sport, you need to have all these things. And whoever has all these things, discipline is one of the main things I would say is prompt to play. Okay? A person who is disciplined can do anything. Okay. A person who is disciplined and made his mind has an aim that yeah, I want to play this sport, I want to do it, you can do anything. Okay. But if you are like nahi ho jayega, I'll do it and everything, please don't go into that field. It will only ruin your career and nothing else. I would say.
Exactly. So, like, coming back to kind of our school life and how it's been so far, I wanted to talk to you a little about like the reaction almost when we found out that the boards got cancelled. Like, I remember we had only 3 exams remaining, and suddenly
Yeah.
I was studying for geography that very same day when the announcement came out, and
Yeah, true, true, true.
when I found out that the exams had been cancelled, I was kind of happy. I was happy at first, but then I had to check which subjects are left so that the average doesn't come out bad. But then when I saw
True,
it,
true.
I was kind of happy. Like, I wanted to know your reaction to when the boards came out. Like, how did you kind of, I don't know, celebrate it or were like happier in a way? How was that like?
So I don't want to brag about it or something, but I would say the last four subjects which were remaining were the best subjects. The prelims I scored the best in those subjects. But yeah, obviously, like after the exams were like, yeah, it got cancelled, we had kind of excitement like, oh, thank God, we don't have to give exams for like 2 to 3 weeks now. It was like lot like during the board exam, we had a lot of pressure, like exams, pressure from teacher, pressure from parents, a lot of pressure going on. When you heard that the exams are getting cancelled, okay, little bit relief, but yeah, we still didn't know what to do. We were kind of lost. We are like, oh, I don't know what is going to happen. Are we going to get good marks? We're going to get bad grades. And I was somewhere, I wanted the exams to happen as soon as possible, not late. Because if it happens late, then you forget things. Then you can't remember things which you want to remember. You forget things and then you can't write it on the paper, right? So I wanted to happen as soon as possible so that at least whatever I've remembered, I can write it on the paper. And to be honest, the first 5 papers were not the best I had. Okay, apart from history, English, the PCM was not the best I wanted to have it. Though it went good, it was really good, but it was not the best. So I wanted to make a mark in the last 4 papers, right? I had that much of determination, but yeah, it's all right. What happens, happens for the good. I got good grades. That's what you want, right?
I actually, like, at first it was not even the announcement of cancel, it was the announcement of postponed. So when I heard it was postponed
Yeah,
by
that
like
was
exactly, I it got postponed by like 1 month, and I was like, okay, I have 1 month.
Why is it happening?
Exactly. And like I had 1 month to do whatever I could get, and that's completely fine. And then I think a week or two later, there was another announcement saying it's cancelled, and that was even more relieving because I'd
no,
already
no, no.
thought
You're
of it.
wrong. I'll tell you. Okay, I'll tell you what happened. It was cancelled. No,
Mm-hmm.
first it was postponed. Then it was again postponed. Then it was the third time it was postponed, and the fourth time they told that we are having exams. Okay, in the
Mm-hmm.
pandemic, I mean, what 5 to 10 lakhs people going and giving exams? Wow, who are you kidding, man? I mean, the government, what did they even think without like I don't know. So what happened? They were giving the exams. So there were like lawsuits and there were cases running, and then parent filed a case that how can we take exams, right? So then the ICC had to come. They had to be like, yeah, we're not taking exams. We'll derive a formula and everything. So
Exactly.
yeah, a lot of situation happening, and it was happening for the first time, right? Like people,
Mm-hmm.
if you ask people like in 11th or who are like past 12, they're like, yeah, it happened, but we were like used to it, like this is gonna happen. But it was for the first time. It was a very career taking decision. Like 10th board, like it matters a lot. So it was like kind of confusing, but yeah, we also enjoyed a lot. Like, ah, chalo, board cancel ho gaya. It's good, good
Exactly.
experience.
And I think
Life.
like the general mindset everyone thought was like, oh, 10th standard got away with it. They must be so relieved. But actually, honestly, like as a person who already gave the boards, we were so in the zone when it came to studies. Like we had given
Yeah,
already
true, true.
5 or 6 exams. We were so in the zone that we wanted to finish it off. Like we didn't want it to be postponed or cancelled. Like I would happily have given my last 3 papers like without like saying anything because it was we were actually doing well, and I recognized that. I realized that I was at like my highest study point during that time because I had put so much of prep inside for the boards.
True. And we also had a lot of plans planned, right? Like we
Mm-hmm.
had to go here and go there, and everything that also got cancelled. That was the only regret we have. But we were like, let's finish the exams first, and then we'll enjoy. That was our goal aim.
I mean, exactly. So like 10th standard, our 10th standard exams got cancelled. This year the 12th standard
Yeah,
boards got cancelled. Next year,
yeah. And tenth also,
do you
tenth
think
also got cancelled. Tenth and 12th both.
so? That's what I'm kind of asking you. Do you think it'll be cancelled next year as well? Do you want it to be cancelled considering students have been at home and they haven't really got to like even figure things out? Like even though it's been like a year, it's still very hard to kind of study from home because you're putting yourself in a space that you're very comfortable in and you're not used to studying at home all the time. Like no, when especially like so far away from the exams, you're normally in school. It's like you're in zone for studying, etc. So, like, do you think it should be cancelled this year as well? Like, under the premises of if COVID-19 continues?
See, I would say if you are taking online classes, keep online exams. If you're taking online classes, why to keep offline exams, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you are, I mean, you're practicing for, you are practicing archery outdoors, and you are told to give, and you're told like you have to shoot inside. How is that even possible? Like the wind, the speed, how is it gonna happen? It's not gonna happen, right? That's what happens in online classes, right? So in online classes, you're in your comfort zone. You're like, yeah, I'll wake up this time. I'll miss this class. It is not important. Everything. Okay. I'll start studying after like 5 months, 4 months. It's not going to happen. Okay, so it's like, I mean, yeah, the heart wants it to get cancelled for sure.
Mm-hmm.
At 12, let's get it cancelled. People have different opinions about it, but I would say like it's better to get it cancelled and be like marked on your internals and half yearly. I would.
I mean, exactly. So, like, I mean, at least for 12th, what they did this year so far was they gave them a reduced portion, right? Because they've been at home for so long. And like, you could kind of see the decline in school as well of students getting less concentrated, being less concentrated towards their studies. And I'm talking about just board exams here. I'm not talking about competitive exams because that's a very different thing. But, like, just board exams in
Yeah.
general people like kind of lost kind of concentration in school. You didn't feel like going to class because it's like early morning when you get up in your bed, you're like, okay, class is there. It just doesn't feel the same as going to school, right? It doesn't feel the same as
Yeah.
going
Right.
to school to meet your friends and socialize. It doesn't just feel the same. So again, I just want to say thank you so much for being on the podcast. I remember talking to you about it as well, and you were so excited, you wanted to come upon, and I was like, we'll definitely have a day that we'll settle, and then both of us will come on and have a podcast. And it was great, it was wonderful. I had a great time. I'm sure you also had a good time. So just like ending remarks, I had a good time. We had a good conversation. It was really nice, and it was lovely to have you on here.
Thanks, man. Thanks a lot, man.
Hey guys, thank you so much for reaching the end of the video. Please consider supporting the channel by hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button, and most importantly, leaving a comment down below, because I will read every single one. There'll be new episodes coming out every single week, so please don't miss out on them. I'll see you next week. Peace out.